Welcome back to A Casual Exchange. I'm Allie and I identify as Ace. Today I am joined by two other people.
I am Kitty. I also identify as Ace, specifically Arrow Ace.
Hey, I'm Dana. I'm an Arrow Ace who's totally a real person.
So we all identify as Ace. What does that mean? What is asexuality? A lot of people have never heard of the word asexual. There was a survey conducted and found that while 53% of people feel that they can define asexuality, 75% of those 53% of people could not define it correctly. I guess, just searching around on forums and stuff, we find that people mix up being ace with asexual reproduction, which is kind of weird. They insist that it means asexual reproduction.
Or they're
That's
convinced
the weird
that asexuality, just ace by itself, is automatically ace arrow. I've also seen that
that's also
quite
kind of
often.
weird. Huh.
As far as the I had heard the term asexual growing up, but I had only ever heard it in regards to asexual reproduction. I had no idea until about 4 years ago that it was actually also a sexual orientation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you hear about asexual reproduction starting in middle school science and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I might have also came across the word used in terms of orientation when I was 11, but I had no idea what that meant at the time.
Right.
It was kind of just something that was mentioned offhanded.
Yeah, I learned about it when I was probably 14, 15. And before that, I'd never heard of it.
I have a very vague recollection, don't know what my tongue did just there, don't mind me, of being 8 or 9, and there was somebody that, you remember this, no, you guys probably don't remember the Sally Jesse Raphael talk show.
No.
No.
Yeah, well before your time, and by the time I was a teenager, she was gone. Older lady, glasses, very kind of stern, but she had a legitimate talk show, not like a Jerry Springer or something. She would of course have people on and try to help them sort out their life. And I vaguely remember her having this person on who, not to be mean, but I'd say I don't actually know. They looked very feminine to a certain extent, but just kind of plain very average. If you passed this person in the street, you probably wouldn't look twice at them.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, they were born intersex, so they had, I don't necessarily know the proper term, they had both.
Yeah.
And I vaguely remember them saying they identified as asexual. 8-year-old me is the hell does that mean?
Yeah, you have no clue.
But also, the way it was being presented in this show was very much this person's a freak.
Yeah, that's just no.
It
That's
wasn't
so
at all
wrong.
flattering. The questions the audience were asking, you ask those questions to somebody nowadays, somebody besides you's gonna throw hands, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But it's just, you're on this talk show with this old lady. You gotta be polite and not be mad that she's insulting you constantly.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, it wasn't even Sally that was insulting her. It was the people in the audience that they were taking questions from.
Yeah, it's unsurprising.
Yeah, it was a circus.
let's see, I don't know, maybe being ace makes it seem like we're robots. We get compared to plants a lot, even though plants don't reproduce asexually because they have sexual organs and pollen and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's wrong. That's wrong anyways. But I am personally not out to that many people. I don't know how far you two are out, but do you get that? You're a robot, you don't have feelings, this, that, and the other.
I generally just have to explain it because they've never heard of it.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time explaining it.
And if you explain it right, then they won't do the robot thing. But if they've heard it from other places before, then they'll go with the robot thing. But if you've just explained it, then I find they often don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I see.
It's also so much explaining.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
It
so
can be, yeah.
It's such, other sexualities can just come out
Because most people have heard of them. You've heard of being gay, being lesbian, being bi,
Yeah.
pan,
Yeah.
all these other ones.
With us, we have to give a frickin' dissertation.
Yeah, you gotta explain
Yeah, exactly.
what that means and that's an actual sexuality. I've also had people who know of it assume that it's something that can be fixed medically, like automatically.
Yeah, it's either a hormone imbalance or it's a mental condition, and it's like, or I just don't care.
I don't care.
Like, that was a thing until, like, 2013, right? They changed it in 2013 to not
Yes.
classify it as a disorder.
Yes.
So it's very recent.
Yeah, for a long time it got
Yeah.
classified as like I believe it was in the DSM.
The Diagnostics and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
Yeah. I've been asked about like getting medical professionals to check it out, and I just don't want to. Like,
Yeah, I am personally very
perfectly
happy.
I am perfectly happy living my life
yeah.
single. I don't have to share my bed with anything but my cats. And, you know, being a 34-year-old woman, I'm a cranky old bat. I don't want you in my bed. Go away from me. You know, I've played that game. I am so over it. Go away. I don't care if it is a chemical imbalance or whatever. No, I don't want you to fix it.
No.
I am perfectly happy with the fact that that highway has been closed to through traffic for many years now and is not going to open for anybody ever again. I am perfectly happy being that eccentric old spinster with all the cats.
See, that's fun. It's like, I wouldn't, because if it is a medical thing, then you have to put effort into fixing it.
Right,
and that's just a lot of effort for something I kind of like about myself.
Right.
I don't have a problem with
not
the way
distracting.
I am, you know?
Like, of course, there's certain things that I don't like and certain things I do. But, like, I wouldn't want to change because that's terrifying. I've been this way my whole life. I don't really want to switch all of a sudden. That seems very stressful.
It very probably would. See, and I probably have a slightly different perspective because without, you know, I spent most of my life assuming that I was just kind of weird or wired wrong, and I kind of just played along.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in relationships. I've done the whole dating relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I've been engaged. I've had 4 different guys ask me to marry them.
Oh,
I've been
gosh.
engaged 4 times and married precisely 0 because it never works out, because after dealing with another person that constantly and that intimately for years, eventually I'm just like, you're a nice person. I love you dearly. I definitely want to keep you as a friend, but if you do not get away from me and get out of my personal space, I'm going to kill one of us.
Yeah.
A lot of people also think that asexuality is the same thing as celibacy.
Yes.
No.
It's not.
Not always.
Yeah.
Not
So
always.
there's
Celibacy
lots
is
of
a
aces who
choice.
have sex. Like,
Yeah.
which is totally valid. Like, if they want to, have fun. Like,
I do know
Yeah.
that there are some asexual people who are like sex repulsed, and
Oh,
the
yeah, for
idea
sure.
of it is just like
Yeah.
the
There's
idea of
typically,
sex
like,
to them is like
3.
the idea to me of having a spider on me because
Yeah,
I'm an
exactly.
arachnophobe.
That's-
And no,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a range. It's not. Some people kind of
Yeah.
assume that all aces don't have sex ever.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely have it. I mean, it was fine, but in my case, I was like, yeah, okay. I don't understand what everybody is so obsessed with. Y'all talk like this is the best thing ever. It was fine. It was enjoyable, but it's not any more enjoyable than reading a book
Or eating cake.
or eating a food that bring me a pizza. I'll be much happier with the pizza than
Pizza is wonderful.
you wanting to shag me.
Yes. The sex repulsed and the sex positive. There's also one that's called sex neutral, which, as you would think, would be indifference. I don't care either way.
I think I fall into that indifference category. I just
Yeah.
don't care.
I think so.
I'm not repulsed
probably
by
do
it.
too.
I'm perfectly happy to be positive for other people who are really into it. I'm like, oh, cool, good for you.
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea.
I
And I'm
could
fine
take
with
or
it
leave
not
I
being
saw
my
a
cup of
great
tea.
thing explaining of it of sex positive. It's like sex is great, but have you ever had cake? Sex
Yeah.
neutral
Yeah.
is like sex is great, but have you ever I forget what it was, but something that's kind of like, yeah, that's fun, whatever. And sex repulsed is, yeah, sex, but have you ever put your feet in like a swamp and just walk through the slimy stuff?
Ew.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. I think a good way to explain being ace to someone that's hetero
Mm-hmm.
is like, you don't want to have sex with the same gender,
Mm-hmm.
do you? Well, that's how I feel about everyone.
Yeah.
Of course, that doesn't really work if the person is bi or pan or
Yeah,
something
that
else.
causes issues, but
I saw a picture. I sent it to my sister because it made me laugh so much, where allosexual people, for those who don't know the lingo, that's kind of what those of us in the ace community call everyone who's not asexual.
yeah, we
Yeah.
have a bit of an us versus them mentality. It's aces and everyone else.
Which you'll hear aces bag on about allos, but I think the majority of us do
Yeah.
not mind or care, since, I mean,
We're just
there's no point in us caring.
confused.
We're
We
in the
don't
minority. We
dislike-
don't understand.
We don't dislike allos. We're just very confused
no.
by them.
Yeah. It's like,
and
there's
well,
this
some
inside
of them we
joke.
dislike because they're jerks, but
I mean,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, but that's not
But
not because they're
as
allos.
a whole, we don't.
That's fine.
They're people. They're fine.
Yeah, they're people.
We just are
A
confused.
lot of them are my friends.
Yes.
I don't understand this concept.
if all allosexuals could be like my little sister, the world would be a much better place, because my little sister, when she first heard about asexuality, she was like, what the heck is that? She went and she read up on it, and her actual reaction was, oh my god, these people are the superior race. These people
That could
are
be a little
awesome.
dangerous.
They're amazing. You mean to tell me there are people who can go through life not worrying about this crap? Why can't
See,
I
and
be
then
like
for
that? I'm
us,
like,
it's
"Aw."
like, you go through life worrying about this crap?
It's so
Like,
yeah.
we don't get it.
I don't.
It's
I
amazing.
really don't.
I don't. Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's good for you. I'm happy for you. You guys look cute together, but
Have fun. I don't. Allos are fucking weird.
Yeah, and a lot of us grow up thinking that we're hetero.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to
Yep.
pinpoint down something that you don't experience.
yeah,
Very
it was like, I remember when I got to be like a teenager, I was like, you know, all my friends were worried about getting boyfriends or girlfriends and, you know, trying to sneak out of their house and do stuff that they were definitely not mature enough to be doing. But
Yeah.
And here's me sitting here going, and you know, I have a friend who's come out as a lesbian and another friend who's bisexual. So they're asking me, like, well, I believe the late 90s, early 2000s wording, some in the audience may remember things like this. They came to me and they asked me, are you a front door, a back door, or a kitchen door? And I looked at them and I was like, the hell does that mean? Apparently, this was like, front door is straight, back door is gay, and the kitchen door is bi because it swings both ways. And I'm like, that's
My
the
kitchen
dumbest
doesn't have a door. So I don't...
Neither
don't know
did
what to
mine.
bring.
None of us had kitchens with a door. So I don't know. I was just like, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, but whatever. And because I was just like, well, I guess I'm straight because I'm not really attracted to girls. And in my head, I'm like, I don't really give a crap about guys either. But I mean, if I had to place myself, I guess I'm straight.
Yeah, that's what I thought my entire life, except I'm hetero romantic, so romantic attraction towards guys is a thing for me.
Yeah.
But
Which that's a whole other bag of fish
Oh yeah.
that
totally.
Yeah,
the
that is a whole
allosexual
other-
peoples do not understand. They're like, I've lost count of how many times I've had to explain this to someone, even though I'm aromantic and I do not want romance. I want no sex, no romance. I'm good. I'm happy to be your friend. I make a great friend, and I'm down for friendly cuddles, but everything else, you can keep it.
Yeah.
But I have
Yeah.
lost count of how many times someone has asked me, well, if you don't want sex, why would you want to date somebody? A lot
For the
of
connection.
people make this inappropriate assumption that
Yeah.
romance and sex are like
Yeah.
Interconnected.
inextricably linked. You have to have one to have the other, and it's like,
Well, that's not
Just
actually
from a-
true, because hookup culture. Hookup
just
culture is
from
a
a
thing.
just from a logical standpoint, though, having been in relationships myself, and I'm terrible at math, so don't use my percentages that I'm about to spit at here as like the factual truth. In an actual relationship, the amount of time, depending on your sex drive, that you're going to spend in bed partaking of sexual activities with your partner is like 2 to 10% max. So you have a whole other 90 to 98% of the time to fill in. So there's a whole other 90% of everything it entails to be in a relationship that you fill in with what? It's perfectly feasible for two people to have a relationship and just not partake in that minimal, like 10 and under percent.
Yeah, that's fair. Although, there are people who do partake in intercourse very frequently. Far more frequently than you
I
would
feel
expect.
like an ace can't necessarily match with everyone.
Nah, no way.
No.
But if you have an aloe with low sex drive, sure.
Yeah. If you're an ace that's sex neutral or positive, and you have an aloe with a low sex drive, generally you can be good.
Yeah, but that's a story for another time. I think we're planning on doing an episode about relationships.
Yes.
That'll be interesting. Look out for it.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I think another thing is that we're not in denial.
No.
A lot of people are like, there's a stereotype that aces are all unattractive. Which,
No.
it's not true
That's
at all.
not true.
And
We're
plus,
not
the
all
definition of
incels.
attractiveness is different for everyone, so it's not
Oh, yeah.
universal anyways.
No,
It's
not
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right, the only qualifier, if you want to call it that, is that the person feels no sexual attraction to be ace. And if you're aspec, so if you're gray, which is very infrequent, like once or twice in your lifetime, or demi, which is you have to form a relationship before experiencing sexual attraction, then it's quite low, or much lower than general public. And then the concept of attraction does not equal action.
Yes.
Similarly to how if I'm not hungry, I can still eat. I don't have to experience attraction to do the thing with someone.
No.
I've also seen
Not at
people,
all.
because I've been in the Christian community a lot, I've seen people who are convinced that aces are just gay people who don't want to be gay.
What?
Yeah. Which doesn't make sense, but sure.
No.
It's just
What?
aces are just gay people in denial. I've seen this, yeah. That's just not true.
I mean,
No.
from an artistic, just from a purely artistic standpoint, being that, I draw, I paint, I write. Pretty much, if it's creative, I can get my hands on it. I will at least attempt to meddle with it, but I can look at a woman and be like, yes, that's an attractive woman. These features about her are attractive.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I've ever looked at a woman and been like, I want to tap that. Because, no, that is not a thing that has ever gone through my brain.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's another thing. Like,
So, no, I am not a lesbian in denial.
a lot of people use the word hot to describe other attractive people, and I don't think that's something I've ever understood.
Oh yeah, hot.
Yeah.
Like, it seems to be different than, like, handsome or beautiful or...
Yeah, I call
there
lots of
seems to be a
people
different-
cute, but I don't
Yeah,
get
that's the thing.
hot as a...
Yeah, it seems
My
to have
understanding
something
of
else.
hot is like, I mean, there are definitely some like actors or whatnot that I look at and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see why people call that dude hot. I understand that.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I think I'm so conditioned to, and so is everyone else, by society, to just see that, yeah, these physical features probably make someone hot or attractive or whatever. Like,
Whatever term you want to use
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it.
yeah, I'm hetero, but
Personally,
I can still see.
I'm an.
I find
Personally, I'm an
actually
old
that
soul,
most
so-
people call hot, I find, like, not attractive at all.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
I just,
Huh.
yeah, it's just so not. It's just no. Like, I have people I think are super attractive. It's not like it is occasionally. It makes sense with it, but
Mm-hmm.
especially with men, what people consider hot typically in men, I do not.
Mm-hmm.
I find is quite actually unattractive.
Oh, really? Like, what is considered hot
Abs.
typically? Like,
Abs are weird, and
Okay.
I don't like the look of them.
yeah, okay, that's fair. Same here, though.
Square faces. Don't like
Oh,
the
like
super
square jaws and whatnot?
super square like
Oh.
jaws and things that are
Oh,
apparently
okay.
super
It
hot.
sounds like you prefer more
Oh, for sure.
You might just have a
feminine-looking
type.
people.
I do. But I get so confused by hot because, like, the typical hot ones are, like, not what I see as attractive at all. But I do have a
So,
type. I know that.
I have an entire like range on, especially like I don't like bodybuilder types where
Oh,
they are
no.
so overly
no.
muscular
I
that
don't
they
think
look.
anyone
Yeah.
actually likes that. Okay,
Oh
some
no,
people
there are
do.
people who liked it, and I'm like,
Okay.
why though?
People like everything. I feel like it's a low minority that likes that.
Yeah, I don't think they're a large
but
percentage.
literally anyone someone finds
I have-
attractive. Literally
I have
anyone.
met people who like. I've met guys who like seriously chase after like female bodybuilders who are just so incredibly ripped. It looks like, and that's a comic book supervillain in the making. Like all
Yeah.
real like softness and femininity is just gone. I'm not a fan of that, but I don't mind male forms that are like broad-shouldered, well muscled, like Jason Momoa or The Rock or something. I don't mind that, but I also have a soft spot for like skinny nerdy guys and
Yeah,
slightly more feminine form. From an artistic standpoint, I can see the beauty in like just about everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But I think this really shows aces. It doesn't mean we don't find anyone attractive.
Yeah,
no,
of
we can
course.
definitely
Like,
look
find
at
people
people
we all have
and
our
be like,
types.
oh yeah,
And we have types. And we have people we like to look at.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
like,
we don't automatically want to get in their pants because of
No.
that.
I
Yeah,
generally
like,
prefer
aesthetic
they
attraction.
keep their clothes on. I think that looks
yes,
nicer.
That's such a
I
big
would
thing,
prefer
but
them to keep
people with
their
their
clothing
clothes on just
because
look better.
Yeah.
let's be honest. Let's be real honest. Genitalia, regardless of which set you have, no genitalia is attractive.
No, it's
No,
One
it's
looks-
not.
no,
I don't.
no.
One
It's
looks
just-
like a gigantic earthworm, and the other one looks like you pried a clam out of its shell forcefully. Neither one of them look like you should be bothering them. They both look like you should stick them back in the soil and let them go about their lives.
Just a
Which is
worm.
what makes the whole modern concept of I'm going to take a picture of my genitals, male or female, and send them to a potential partner. Why do you
That's-
think anybody
no.
wants to see that?
No one wants to see that.
They're not attractive. No, thank you.
This is such an ace conversation now. I feel like if we had an aloe on, which we should totally do that they would feel differently.
My little sister is allossexual, and she's like, yeah, I don't get it either.
No, I've met lots of
I don't
aloes who
understand
don't
the
get it as
phenomenon.
well. But
That'd
Her-
be interesting, yeah.
Her honest to God, when I brought this up to my sister, her honest to God thing about being sent unsolicited dick pics was, I mean, yeah, I like them, but what good is a picture gonna do me? I can't do anything with it. It's only fun when it's here in person. I don't need a picture of it.
So I think the thing we were describing earlier about we can find people attractive, and especially
Oh,
Kitty,
yeah.
you're
Yeah,
abro ace, so you can still find people attractive. That's
Oh yeah.
that's not sexual attraction. That's not romantic
No.
attraction.
some people
But
are
that
just
can be
aesthetically
aesthetic.
pleasing. It's
Yeah,
aesthetic
aesthetic attraction. That's
I
Absolutely.
feel
Um,
like most people merge aesthetic attraction, romantic attraction, and
Oh, yeah.
sexual
and
attraction,
sexual,
and they just
like,
think
just
of
all together.
they're all
attraction.
they think of it as all the same thing, which for us,
No.
it's not all the same thing. So there's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
line
They're
that
very
needs
different.
to be explained.
They're
This thing
completely
is called
different.
it's called the split attraction model, and
Mhm.
it's definitely something you'll run into as you browse Ace forums or just the internet in general. There's basically the model splits various different types of attractions down:
Yep.
sexual, romantic, aesthetic, sensual. There's also platonic attraction, which is
Alterous.
scritches, and
Yeah.
alterous. Alterous is kind of confusing because
Yeah.
it's where you can't distinguish between romantic and platonic, which
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know.
It's a
It's
little
confusing.
more than platonic, but it's not quite romantic.
Yeah.
It's this like weird limbo.
Gray area.
We get a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of gray.
A lot of like.
I've had a lot of
Yes.
issue with.
We don't
I'm
like
very
no
bad
color, huh?
at reading the what kind of attraction things are and what kind of interactions things are. Because I just
Yeah.
assume everyone wants to be my friend.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you don't think that people want anything more from
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
No, when you yourself don't have those desires and whatnot,
Yeah, exactly.
it's very difficult to look at other people and be like, oh yeah, no, that you want that thing that I don't want.
Mhm.
Yeah, that also puts us in an uncomfortable position.
You know, since you're not wired that way to want those things from
Yeah, yeah.
anyone, you have to kind of physically, like, I have to kind of physically remind myself,
Right.
like, oh yeah, that's the thing that other people want,
Mhm.
Yeah, and we don't want that.
and I do not. So, like,
So,
I've gotten pretty good at picking up when people are, like, checking me out.
Mm.
And so then when I
Yes.
introduce myself to them, I go out of my way to I'm like, hi, I'm Kitty, and I'm asexual. Like, just immediately take that off the table. No. Because I saw you, like, looking me up and down like I was a piece of meat from across the room, and no thank you, sir. I'm flattered, but no.
Apparently, my mother has noticed people checking me out. I've never noticed this. Is that something
Oh,
people
boy.
do in public? I don't know.
Generally, I only do that to people, like, if I'm out with my friends and they're like, oh, hey, have you met so-and-so? And I kind of, yeah,
Mhm.
hi, so-and-so. Keep
Yeah.
those thoughts to yourself, please. But if it's just like a stranger in the supermarket, I'm like, oh, good. Nope, I'm just gonna mosey away from you. And if you come talk to me, I'm gonna say something so weird and off the wall that it'll confuse you and give me time to run away from
Yeah,
you.
gotta say something weird and off-putting.
Like, if you come up to me and you start trying to ask me for my number in, like, the grocery store, I will look at you completely deadpan and go, monkeys, and then just walk away.
I think a lot of people can experience aesthetic attraction. That's probably the next most common one after sexual and romantic. And it's probably the
I
next one
think that
easiest to explain.
aloes who are only attracted to one gender have that. They just don't think of it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they don't find everyone of the gender they're not attracted to not attractive at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, she's really pretty.
Well, and it's
Yeah.
also, like, my good friend who is a lesbian, it drives her nuts when, you know, she's introduced to someone new and she, particularly if they're female, and, you know, it comes up that she's a lesbian, and automatically their first thought is, oh, well, are you attracted to me? And it's like, no. Are you attracted to every single dude you see? No? Well, I know gay men get it. I know gay women. Will you two stop it? Sorry, my cats are fussing with each other outside the door. Well, Selena's in here, so she's trying to fight with Scout under the door. So, pardon the sound you're about to hear, because I'm going to open the door and let her out so they will stop it. Go on, you butthole. Go on. I love my children, but sometimes they are jerks. They are fluffy little jerks.
Of course.
Aesthetic attraction is a thing that happens constantly, and people just don't think about it.
Or they lump it in with
Mhm.
romantic and
Yeah,
sexual attraction.
but I mean, aesthetic attraction or a lack thereof,
Mhm.
allosexual people do it on a daily basis, you know, when
Yeah.
appraising potential partners, they're like, yeah, I like the way this one looks, don't like the way that one looks, regardless of what their orientation is.
Mm-hmm.
It's so second nature to them that they don't ever stop to analyze it.
Yes.
Yes. So we were talking about how asexuality is relatively new as a concept, and having this actual term to define it, a community of people there to support you. But there's potentially, it's been around for ages, like any other orientation has been around. But it's just, it's not as distinctive. It can be mistaken for celibacy, and you don't hear about it that much because there wasn't really a word to define it.
Yes.
Asexuality is considered an internet orientation because it really started picking up when the internet became a thing and people using the internet were discussing it and coming up with the flag, the ring.
Yeah.
This entire community, Avon, was here.
Essentially, it was, once humanity was connected more intimately or connected better, where, if you want to talk to somebody in China, you can.
Yeah, China was a bad example.
Whatever. The point is, you can literally talk to somebody on the other side of the planet if you want.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be real hard to identify historical aces because, historians already go, no, this person isn't gay, and that has actual evidence to support it. Whereas an ace person,
it's celibacy.
The lack of something doesn't necessarily mean there wasn't that something. It's just not historically recorded. So we don't know. Can't prove anything.
Yeah. You can't disprove it either, but whatever.
I could go literally any historical figure and go, hey, maybe they were ace, but super sex I don't know. Or that they were put into it by their family, or yada yada.
Right.
Any number of
Could be
things,
any number of reasons. It was suspected that Newton was gay, but also he might have been ace. So we don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me. It honestly wouldn't surprise me to find out that a number of incredible genius level people from the past were either Leonardo da Vinci was incredibly gay.
I wonder how many nuns and things were ace. I feel like it must be.
It is a good question. Because honestly, what woman who legitimately does have sexual desires towards, say the opposite.
Yeah.
I can completely believe that a number of nuns in the past were either closet lesbians who did not want to act on their attractions because it was quote unquote a sin.
Also illegal.
Or they were asexual and potentially sex repulsed, and the idea of
being forced
doing what
into
you were
a marriage,
quote unquote supposed to do, which is have a husband and have babies, was so repulsive
if they
and
didn't
frightening.
Become a nun, they would be forced into a marriage. So it's okay, I'll become
screw it, I'll just go be a nun.
I do not want to
ever have to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
It would not surprise me at all to find that out. Same for any number of monks and priests.
Yeah.
There again, it's possible they were closeted homosexuals who, because of the law or religion, were afraid to act on those impulses. Or they were asexual, and there again, they don't want to be forced to act on impulses they don't even have, so they're just nope, I'm gonna go be part of the church where you can't make me do that because I'm married to God, goodbye.
Yeah. Aces are 1% of the population. There's been aces around, and a lot of them for a long time.
Well, say 1%, right? But comes back definitely, probably, most likely more. It could be anywhere from 1 to 4 because all these surveys.
Surveys are not the most accurate
surveys.
things.
Yeah,
surveys are nowhere near accurate because even the census and here in America, there are plenty of people who ignore that crap when they get the mail and the email and everything. fill out your census. They're like, yeah, nope, can't be bothered, rip, toss in the trash. They just don't care. So
1%, it's very difficult. It's so few people know about it, even.
Yeah.
That's part of why we're doing this. We're trying to raise visibility. And hopefully someone that listens to us that doesn't know that they're ace or doesn't know that asexuality is a thing will come to realize that, maybe this does suit me.
But, like, it's less rare than people think it is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think probably within the next 10, 15 years, we're going to see a pretty big leap.
Yeah, for sure.
People
We're
identifying.
already seeing so many people.
Oh, yeah.
My high school, I made friends with 2 ace people before I knew what asexuality was.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Of 300 kids in the high school, I know of 3 of us.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's right.
Cool.
That's 1 in 100. That's
exactly.
1%.
And that's just the kids. This was teenagers, very sheltered Christian teenagers.
Yeah, in a church-based school.
Exactly.
So,
well, you don't hear about this stuff, so yeah, definitely. I remember.
I don't have contact with a lot of the people that I went to high school with, so I honestly wouldn't know.
One of them is like in my friend group of like 7 people. We have 2 aces.
Oh wow.
Oh. Huh.
And
pretty
we
much
made
all my
friends
ace friends
before
are
I knew what
online, and
asexuality
you
was.
guys.
I remember that I was talking to a few people on a Discord server that was unrelated to asexuality at all. It was actually like a classical music server, and we're just hanging out, and I had offhandedly brought up the fact that I was ace, and I was talking with 3 other people. They all knew what asexuality was, which is a plus, and 2 of those people were questioning whether or not they were ace.
Yeah, it's more
so
common.
That was like, wow.
If you're looking for it, you can just come across it sometimes, like or even if you aren't. But like,
right.
Yeah.
I'd say more of my friends are ace than I have not ace friends. That's because I've purposely looked for it.
True.
And a lot of these are internet friends. But a
Same.
vast majority of my friends are ace.
I would say at this point I've got like an even mix between like my real world friends and internet friends. A number of my internet friends at this point are also aces because I'm on a Discord server with them.
Yeah.
And then the others generally fall somewhere on the queer spectrum. Hold on, I've got a pan friend, a bi friend, two pan friends, a bi friend, an actual lesbian, two actual lesbians, and actually I think it might be 2 bi people.
Same here.
And those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head, and I'm like, I don't think I have any straight friends left.
I definitely do have straight friends, but I also do have queer friends.
But yeah, his friends slowly turn more and more queer as time goes on.
Right?
Yeah, because everybody starts discovering themselves, which of course is not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and also don't feel sorry for us.
No, we're not broken. We're not.
Yeah.
The way I describe it to people who kind of look at me funny is I generally tell them, think of me as nature's innate population control. Particularly in today's world, with how overpopulated the world is, it's long been a personal theory of mine that people with same-sex attraction, or in our case, no attraction, are kind of the universe's way of trying to keep us from killing the planet because there are too many of us.
Yeah. Definitely there's an argument against being ace of the fact that having sexual attraction is what makes us human, and that's why we exist to repopulate, which from a purely biological perspective like that,
like, wow, that's demeaning and belittling to just basically boil me down to my reproductive organs. Thanks.
Right. The one thing is that it's not a concern anymore because overpopulation is already a thing. We've
too many. Really outdone ourselves already.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I think there was a study done that men that were gay, their sisters had higher fertility rates. So it was beneficial in that sense. Or you got a lot of animal kingdom, lions are gay penguins, and like they take
Here's a
care of
fun
orphans.
fact.
Yeah.
So
Every species of animal on the planet has homosexuals. Humans are the only ones who persecute theirs.
Mhm.
yeah,
But supposedly, we're the top of the food chain. Meanwhile, we're also the most destructive and the most hateful to our own kind.
Yeah.
Just because they
Yeah.
don't believe the same thing we do, they are not attracted to the same people that we are, they speak a different language, their skin is a different color. It's like, wow, really, guys?
yeah, like there's
And this is
7
why I
billion
prefer
people.
to just go ahead and identify myself as I'm part of the animal kingdom, because
Yeah.
humans,
Humans
shitty.
suck sometimes.
a person can be lovely, wonderful. People as a whole are
Oh, yeah.
awful.
Like 7.8 billion people, almost 8 billion people, and you expect us to all be the same.
Mhm.
How boring would that be?
That would be
first of
so
all?
boring. Oh my god.
No, we're
Ugh.
not all the same. All our experiences are different. And like even between the 3 of us here, we're all very different. We're all different ages,
Oh
but
yeah.
we're all ace, and we all can sit here and talk for 2 hours.
Yeah. I find
That's pretty
aces
cool.
often bond quite quickly with other aces.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because I mean, the rest of the world has a tendency to say dumb things to us, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you just haven't found the right person."
Yeah.
My personal favorite. You haven't found someone who does it right yet.
what? That's like going up to a straight guy and saying, "You just haven't found the right guy yet." No one does that.
Exactly.
Please don't do that to us.
But yet, it's perfectly acceptable in some circles to walk up to asexuals and lesbians and tell them crap like that. Excuse you,
It's just-
People are
Jeremy,
the worst.
Yeah.
can you not?
And also, it's really invalidating because a lot of us spend years going back and forth thinking, are we broken? Is there something wrong with
Oh
us?
yes.
And
And
years
once you
fighting this battle.
discover the term asexuality, it's also the am
Yeah.
I lying to my is this actually
That's
me?
such a
Is
big
it
thing.
I
Have
spent
I just not found the right
15
guy
years of
yet?
my life.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
spent
it's
15
so hard to
years of my
confirm
life
something.
thinking, I spent 15 years of my life thinking I was broken or weird, and maybe I just haven't found the right person yet. And come to find out, no, there's actually not anything wrong with me.
Yeah.
There's a lot wrong with
Yeah.
society, but
Society's the worst.
Like, I'm still in high school, so I'm surrounded by hormonal teenagers.
oh
All the
god,
time.
oh
I mean, it's a
honey.
little bit better now since everything's online, school-wise, but
Yeah.
I still remember when I was actually in school, and I would just be sitting there, and my friends would start talking about wildly inappropriate things that should not
Yeah.
be discussed in a school setting, and I'd be sitting here like, are you
Can
having me
you
on?
stop?
Do you actually think that this is something you actually want, or is this some giant joke?
See, this is why I ended up with 2 aces in my friend group. We both found a friend group that didn't talk much about crushes.
And that's also
I-
a thing. It's like,
I
This is-
remember, oh god, the
People
one
like to
friend I
gossip.
had. The one friend I had, the one day I finally had to look at her and go, can you not? For one thing, your little brother is sitting right there in the same room, and I guarantee you he does not want to hear this.
Yeah.
Second of all, sweetie, I know more about your sex life than I know about my own. Because this girl would go into like explicit blow by blow details.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, even if I wasn't completely disinterested in sex and romance, I still would not want to hear this. I don't need to know how many, how long, and I don't need these details. Shut up.
Some people are incredibly open about
Some
discussing this
people
stuff.
just do not know or have or understand boundaries.
Like, even aloes would just be completely like, why are you telling me this? Not everyone wants to hear about your sex life. Like, good for you.
No.
But spare us the
I mean,
details,
if you
please.
want to come up to me and tell me you got lucky last night and it was good, cool. I need
Yeah,
nothing
happy
more
for
than
you.
that.
Yeah. Don't need
Yeah.
details.
Do not Like,
We don't
if
want
you want to
details.
tell me that he set up the bedroom all romantic with flowers and candles and, leave out the explicit details, again, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
I do not need a play-by-play like it's audio pornography. I really don't.
Oh, please no.
If I want porn, there's plenty of it on the internet. I'll go watch some,
Yeah, go find some, like, well-made stuff, not a weird person you're actually
Not
talking
you
to and
relaying
have to
the
look in
blow by blow.
You don't want to have to look someone in the eye.
Yeah,
well, they tell
definitely.
you all the tiny, minute details of how they like it.
No, thank you. We can't relate anyways. Please, no.
Stop
Don't
it.
torture us.
Oh, really?
Stop it.
Alright, so you've heard a little bit about what's going on in all our brains, which basically comes down to we don't want sex. But, I think next episode we're going to be discussing how exactly we came to this conclusion that we are ace, and
Our
the unique
experiences.
struggles that come with finding this identity that are unique from other, like, LGBTQ identities. Thank you for listening to us. If you want to see behind the scenes stuff and updates for the next episode, you can check us out on Instagram at knightsofknope or Reddit at knightsofknope.
The nope is spelled with a K.
Yes, it is. We have weird spellings. Also, the night is also spelled with a K.
But, like, that's how you spell.
Yeah. Well, it could be, like, night.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sky kind of night.
Yes.
We would love to interact with you guys.
It could be, but that'd be a little odd.
And I think you can follow this podcast on, like, Spotify or Apple.
I don't know how that works.
iTunes. Yeah, we're not sure how that works. Find a way to keep up with us.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's good.
Wherever we upload our podcast, there will likely be a link in the description.
Exactly, to our social
Go have
medias.
fun
You
with
can also
that.
email us at acasualexchange if you want to guest.
At
Yeah,
gmail.com.
If you want to
acasualexchange at
guess, if you
gmail.com.
have questions, if you have topic ideas,
Suggestions.
you
Like,
can also
what do you
DM
want to
us
hear us
at
discuss next?
knightsofknope on Instagram or
I think we're
Reddit.
reading ourselves now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just contact
Multiple
us
ways
if you
to
have
find-
anything you want to say to us.
Yeah. And we would love to hear what you think about our current episodes and how we structure things.
Yeah. Next episode comes out on Monday in 2 weeks from now.
Yep.
A Casual Exchange was created by the Knights of Nope, producing and editing done by Dana, hosted by Allie, research done by Bones. Thanks to guests Dana and Kitty. All music used can be found in the description.